Dude, it crashed. Oh god. Why am I looking at a black screen? Alright. Yes, we're back, dude. Let's go. Dude, my Streamlabs crashed. Fuck, man. This might be a never again. I just want to get through these matches, though. Alright. We're in the MTGO again. Or are we in the middle of game 2? Yeah. We should have 102 friends. Alright. We're back. Hopefully not too many of the people left. Okay, round 8 versus the Magi. No, bro. Don't do me like this. Connor man. Connor man Sims. Alright. So, let's fast forward. Jubin with the follow. 2 free. They took the DRC. I played the Delver off the top. He sits on my end step salting that I just drew this Delver. Then he ponders. He knows my whole hand, so he knows I don't have days. And yeah, plays the 3/3 shadow. So let's see what I draw. I drew days. Okay, that's actually quite good. Yeah, I have a couple options here. I could brazen this thing, but I don't want to do that yet. I want to wait until it's like bigger next turn. Um, yeah, I probably wastelanding is just the way to go. I'm putting down a 7 already. Voodoo Kick, the goat. What's up? Connorman's the favorite streamer. No shot. All right, yeah. So we do just pick this guy up. That's interesting. Um, I guess like it's already doing like 5 or 6 damage. It's probably fine. And this is a threat I can play next turn, whereas I can't. I don't have Murktide mana yet, so it kind of makes sense to me, I guess. So he ponders here, shuffles, has a wasteland and a shadow. I don't daze that. It's just bad. Yeah, Legacy Shadow. This is the win-in for the top 8 of the PTQ. And we're up a game. Our turn. We draw a D or C. We only have creature and land so far, but we can put him to 4 here. Yeah, this is a close game, but like we're still at 19, and these guys are 9/9, so it's like 2 turns probably. We definitely waste, right? Yeah. Okay. So he's on 5 cards now. So he main phase brainstorms, I just daze it. I don't want him finding like push and stuff like that. Or days of his own, I guess. And even if he does daze, which I calculated, then he would have to shock in his land again or fetch, both going to 3, dying to this. Um, but so this is going to be my third type in the graveyard. I have instant land creature, so I just need to find like a sorcery or like a bauble, and then he just dies right here. And I have a brainstorm to either mill a bauble or a ponder, or I could find just a bauble off of it. And I hit a Power Blast like Bennett and don't hit a bubble. So I whiff, but I'm still alive pretty easily. Um, so this is an interesting brainstorm. I definitely want to be able to hit Delirium next turn, so that means binning the Expressive Iteration, or casting it, I guess. But maybe if he Wastelands me, I can't cast it. So I want to Brainstorm or Pyroblast away this iteration. So that means it should go in the bottom. And I also put the land there. Did I already play my land? That seems weird. Why did I do that? Oh, I already put a land for turn. Yeah, it makes sense. So he doesn't have the Wasteland. He Murktides. And I win. Because I can Pyroblast his Murktide, and then even if he has days, which he does, I bend the iteration, and I have 2 flyers. He only has 1, so that is a dub. Alright, on to the top 8. That was a pretty good match. Max ended up getting 9th, so that's unfortunate for him, but it's okay. So I'm playing against the Riddler. I think I threw this game because I didn't know how to play against this guy's deck, but yeah, so I mold to I'm already on 5. Jeez. Yeah, so I just mold like bolt hands because I didn't think just like killing his Riddle Smith or whatever was gonna be good enough. I mold to this, which is actually kind of playable, but like if he goes for an LED Echo, I just force it and win. That's always the hope with these matchups. Yeah, I end up keeping Delver over Channeler. It's just the faster clock. All right. We'll restart. Sorry, Levi. Okay. On the draw. First hand, probably shit. I just want like a force on the draw. Second hand, also don't have a force. I can like bounce a defense grid with this, but yeah. So I mold to this. Keep the Delver after a long thought. Many cancel buttons were pressed. And yeah, he plays a bunch of shit. Defense grid, I have just counter. I pitch the Murktide. I draw a Pyroblast, which is actually kind of nice. I'm just going to hold that. And then he plays a Saga, and I'm just like, oh shit, I just died. So he plays his Riddle Smith, and yeah, I'm just gonna kill on this stuff. I didn't counter it because like if he has the Echo, I want him to resolve this, and then I'll just counter the Echo and maybe have outs. But yeah, I just kill this and hope to draw a Wasteland. So I Brainstorm for the Wasteland. I miss. Delver. This is probably a matchup where I want to upkeep Brainstorm, but like I just need to find a Wasteland, so I doubt I do it. Because it just gives me one less look. I hit an iteration. Maybe I should Brainstorm here, because then I can hit like Fetch Ponder, and leaves me with more mana. But I just iteration. I hit Force Bobble. Okay, I take the Murktide because I'm like, well, he's a 1 card. He's not gonna combo me probably, so I'm just gonna try to like deal with these Saga tokens with a Murktide. I think it's a pretty good plan actually, but let's see how it turns out. He has another Saga on top, which is kind of scary, and he's activating this not off this because he has a Chromox and a thing, so it's pretty bad for me. But I don't know what he's gonna get. I think he has like a Shadow Spirit. So I actually peel a Wasteland now, which is pretty good because I can kill the second one. Yeah, Murktide better. So he gets just an Urza's Bauble, which is weird. I guess he doesn't have a Shadow Spear. Puts me to 11. Yeah, so I put him to 14, play a 7/7, and then waste him. So I mean, this is looking kind of fine. So he keeps this around so that if he draws an artifact, he can play an artifact and then attack me with both of these, and I have to trade off one of them because they're sevens. But then he pops it, and I'm like, what are you doing? I think I'm gonna win because I assume he didn't draw an artifact. Then he gambles. I don't really know why he popped this before, but he ends up discarding Echo, which I assume is what he had the tutor for. Then he's gonna LED to play it. And I don't have a force, so I'm just hoping I hit force, but I whiff. I hit a daze. But he's on 5 artifacts. And what happens is he plays Petal, and then he plays this. And I need to daze this because it's his 7th artifact. And then I would make him pay with one of these so he loses an artifact. So I think I have to daze this and hope that he doesn't have any more like 0-mana artifacts. But I just like don't think and let it resolve because I'm also playing the top 4 of a modern challenge. And then he just didn't have any more artifacts. So I literally threw because I had lethal because it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, and he's at 12. So I just need to daze that, and I probably win the game. But I'm forced to chump, and then I just like die. I actually draw the borrower, but then which was nice because I got to hit the token. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing at this point. I dazed, so he had to pay a mana, but then I died at like a grape shot for 6 or something. So that was pretty bad. I was like tilting, but I just had to like walk outside for a bit and try to win the rest of the match. So we're on the play, and our hand's pretty good. We don't have a force, but I mean, I think we have to keep. I guess his hand's not very good. I should probably just lead on land pass, hold up this, because their combo stuff is like blue. Wow, I mull. Dude, look at me. Mulling to like the schnuts. I guess that's fair. I just didn't have a force. Yeah, so they play Saga, which I have the meltdown for in a couple turns. I'm assuming they're going to activate it here with like some fast mana card. But I drew the 1 Hex. This is like the only time I drew this card all tournament, which is kind of funny. Yeah, so they just have Tomb for it. I'm not doing anything. I draw Force, which is actually insane. So I'm just like jamming the Hex now. I'm pretty safe. And then from their side, their only play is to go for the Saga because they can't really beat this. And then I just have the Meltdown and the Force. It's just kind of over. Mana Confluence. They play Riddlesmith. That's fine. I blow up everything. Waste them. They've 1 Mana Confluence and they concede. Alright, game 3. Yeah, I got very lucky for mulling that. I could have baited myself into keeping. Alright, this is our hand. Like, we just can't keep this. It has no force. And, like, the Meltdown's not even that good. We mull. This is keepable. They're on 7 on the play, so it's very scary, but yeah, we keep. Probably ship, like... I mean, Murktide's probably my only way to beat Saga in this end. So I think maybe I ship, like, the DRC. That makes sense to me. Yeah. So they play this guy, and I just let it resolve because I don't really know what it does, but they gamble, so I let that resolve too. They pitch an LED, which they can now cast off of this, and I'm just like, holy shit, am I getting turn 1 through a force? Because now they have like 3 cards in their hand, and they can cast all of them once they discard their hand. So I let the LED resolve. Maybe I should have actually forced that, but I don't know. I was going for a plan where I hope they don't have more than 2 threats or whatever. And it ended up happening. They have Riddlesmith, Carpet, and Breakthrough that they can cast this turn. So I need to counter the Breakthrough because it's like a draw 4. No forces? And then they cast the Riddlesmith. So they were empty-handed on turn 1 with 2 2-1s in the Legacy format. I'm just like, dude, if I lose to this shit, get me out. So I draw Steam Vents. I pyro that. And then they rip Saga, and I'm like, shit. But I think I get bailed out. Yeah, I rip the Wasteland off the Ponder. I just go for the Saga instead of the Tomb, because they can just like draw another Tomb and then I just lose. And I have exactly enough to Murktide here, and now, I mean, they need like so much. They draw a grid, but whatever. So I keep one of the negations. My plan is just to next turn have negation up by paying 3 mana and pitching a card. Yeah, so pretty lucky to win this match after that abysmal game 1 where I should have like cheesed him with the days, but yeah. All right, on to the. I guess this is the finals because in the actual finals the prizes are the same. So we're playing against a Delver Shredder deck, I think. This player's pretty good. So my hand's interesting. It's a basic island hand, but I have 2 forces. So like I have a Brainstorm in the deck, so they're always going to be relevant because I can put them back for extra cards. But like the hand, it's like not great. But I think you have to keep. I don't think you can mold this, especially on the play. Maybe you can get some use out of the force, like forcing a Shredder or a Murktide and getting in. So they mold to 6, which is good. We're just gonna go Island Delver and then Bubble Trick ourselves to try to flip it. They bobble me and play Sanctuary, so that's like a big sign of weakness, right? They're already on 6. Maybe they just keep this as their only land. So I bobble myself, hit a Ponder, so that's good. I get to flip my thing. And yeah, I drew a Delver as well, which is like the actual nuts. So I get to waste and Delver, and then I literally have 2 forces here. And I'm just prepared to like go all out on countering a Bolt here. So yeah, I force a Heat, keeping the other force. Because like if they have days, I literally just want to force. I think that's my best line to win this game, instead of keeping 2 Ponders and letting one of these dies. They have it, I just go all in. And I flip because I'm too good. And I actually whiffed there. It was a DRC and an expressive iteration and a force. So like if they have land bolt and then like another bolt, I could just like be dead. But they just concede. I was kind of like clenching there, but we got there with the double force plan. So that was a sick game. Game 2. Yep, dick on the table. Alright, game 2 we got a nice hand. Maybe we can fetch Island again. They mold to 6 on the play, so they're down cards. They have a Steam Vents as their land, so that means they don't have a Volk. They could have a fetch though. Yeah, so they're going for their Delver trick. And like I can see losing to this hand. I mean, they have 4 cards, but like I have no removal spells. I can maybe just get like aggroed. So I go for my Island, get the Delver. And they don't flip. Yeah, they don't flip, which is pretty lucky. By the way, this guy has 2 Steam Vents and no Island, and I think that comes back to bite them in game 3 maybe. But I took note of this. So yeah, they have a pretty good turn here. I draw a Sanctuary, which is shit. But I have a Hydroblast, so at least I'm kind of controlling the board a little bit. And their Delver didn't flip. So they're on 2 cards, but they flip an iteration. I'm just like, Jesus. Yeah, so they play the land first to play around days, trying to hit a 1-drop. And I believe, yeah, they whiffed because they hit a Flooded Strand, so they already played their land. So that was quite good for me. But they still get in for 3. I flip. I don't flip. I hit a Wasteland, which is also terrible. I mean, my hand just like sucks right now. I need like a Brainstorm to fix this. I hit 2 Ponders. I think those are just worth keeping because like taking random draws is kind of just bad at this point. Yeah, I keep 1. I ponder into the second one. Maybe I should have fetched here. I don't really know what I was doing, but um, I guess if the I know about these 2 cards, so if the 3rd card is good, then I'll take that. If it's bad, then I can just take the ponder, fetch, and like respin. I think that kind of makes sense. Also, I want to set up Delver, yeah. So I think I do spin here, right? Yeah. Like if he dazes me, it's fine. So it counterbalance, bubble, land. So it doesn't flip Delver, but I'm wondering if it's good enough. I'm not under a huge amount of pressure. I'm at 14 and they have a Delver, so I think taking the counterbalance is maybe reasonable. That being said, I don't have a 1-drop under the counterbalance. I end up taking it. Draw counterbalance. They brainstorm. They're on 3 cards now. Yeah, I'm hoping for no Murktide, or else I like kind of lose. I mean, I can play my own and try to like trade, but oh, I guess there's a small, yeah. Okay. So they bobbled me. Yeah, so I don't flip. It's a Steam Vents, which I knew about. And now we're gonna see if my counterbalance line pays off, keeping that or not. Oh, I threw this game as well. I just remembered. Yeah, so I just counterbalance. I don't think there's a need to Murktide. I mean, they just brainstormed. There's a high chance they have days. They haven't played any this game, so I think I'm just gonna slow roll a little bit. Hoping to like hit a land here to counter, but I hit a 1 drop. It's not the worst, but this game was actually really interesting from this point on. Yeah, so here I throw like pretty badly. So I go for Murktide, and then I'm gonna play a Sanctuary afterwards to give it the 7 counters, or 7/7, plus I get back a Ponder on top, which is good because it's a 1 drop as well. I thought this might be bad because if I Sanctuary my Ponder first, then they can't like try to Pyro my Murktide because I have a 1 drop on top that they know about. But at the same time, like I could draw the Ponder next turn, and then they can Pyroblast on my Droster up main phase, whatever. So I did go for this, but this was like such a bad play. And it wasn't for the reason I said. It was they just like unholy heated it. So it just wasn't a 7/7, and then I missed off my counterbalance. If I flipped a 1 drop, I would have just won, but I didn't. They also bobbled me, so they knew what was going on. But still, I take my Ponder. I cast a 1/1, and they Hydroblast. They like throw because they don't realize that I put my Ponder on top, so they just Hydroblast this, and it just kind of like that was just terrible by them. But onboard counterbalance noises. So they put me to 5, but like I don't think they have too many bolts. I see one here, but they have heats, like multiple heats, so I think they might be on like 2 bolts or something. So I'm not too scared of dying to that at least. Um, but I definitely have chances this game. I mean this gives me delirium, so I think I should have second main phased it, but I was probably focusing on my modern challenge. But it didn't matter. He hydroblasted, and I didn't flip anyway. I flipped another wasteland. So this literally hasn't countered like a single thing so far. But I hit brainstorm, brainstorm, iteration. So that's a lot of draws. I just need to find like a bolt or a pyroblast, and then I can maybe counterbalance lock him out with the double brainstorms. And my iteration finds 3 brainstorms, so we take 2 of them. 2 more iterations off that, and we can fetch once here. We can go to 4. And then they cast a Murktide, which I fetch, and then I brainstorm it just because I'm trying to like find a Murktide and then flip it. I think I have 3 left in my deck. I mean, maybe that's bad, but I think it's correct. So I whiffed, but I hit a Hydro and a Pyroblast and a fetch land, so I can kill both of these creatures. And then I'm left with, well, I can't kill both of them because it's a Hydroblast. So I have to iteration here and find like Bolt or something. And I do. I rip it like a luck sack. And then I also find a Ponder. So I can't fetch because I'm at 1. So this is like an insane iteration. I Pyro, then I Bolt. All playing around days. He has 1 card in hand. And I have Hydroblast for an iteration. So, yeah, okay. Here's where I fucked up. 1, 2. Yeah, so if you count his graveyard, he has 2 instant sorceries for Murktide, so that means it's a 5/5. So all I had to do was draw double bolt, and then I was not gonna die to Murktide. But I put like Hex in the first 2, I think, and then he just top decked a Murktide and killed me with it. Yeah, so I draw a Hex here, and I'm just like, okay, I can't really lose this game. There's a 1 drop on top, whatever. And then he top decked the Murktide, and I didn't have double bolt for it because I misordered my Ponder. So that was quite tilting. I felt like I shouldn't have lost this game. I think I played pretty well during the other parts, but that was just like a choke. I just gave him an out when I shouldn't have. But anyway, on to game 3. Made it more exciting anyway. Yeah, so this is a solid hand. I mean, we have the Sanctuary, but the rest of it is good enough for me. We can get like double wasted and lose here, but I haven't really seen Wasteland from them. I think I saw like one. So they ponder, which is nice. It means we're gonna get to keep our guy around for our turn. And yeah, we can ponder here. I top that land. I just wanna hit my land drops, cast iteration and stuff. So I hit DRC Bolt Land. These are great cards. I probably just I think I'm supposed to play the Sanctuary this turn and then have this for next turn. So I probably put the Bolt on the bottom and then draw these two. I don't need the second Bolt, yeah. Oh, I did end up playing that. That's interesting. What was I scared of? I guess it's fine. Maybe I can like brainstorm away the Sanctuary later or use it for value. I don't really need the third untapped land, maybe. Yeah, this is fine. Maybe I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep the DRC, so I wanted to have an out to fetch it away. But definitely want it. Did they miss on a land? They did. They brainstormed and missed on a land, but they hit 2 baubles, so that means they'll probably hit it on land next turn, because it like undoes their brainstorm lock. But that's quite lucky, obviously, that they whiffed. So there's a bolt on top of my deck. I probably don't want to draw that unless they miss again. Then I want to just like try to aggro them out and flip Delirium. So I play my tap land. They do some bobbling. Yeah, I don't really have a Daze or a Wasteland to punish this, or else I like already would have won the match. They ponder, it's good. They don't shuffle and they play a Volk. They have 8 cards, so they have to do something. They bolt, and I have the Hydroblast, which is kind of nice. They can Daze. I'm assuming they have a Daze because I played around it for the other turns, but I can't play around it now. I'll just Surveil too. Been a Brainstorm. That was an interesting play by me, but I think it's fine because I'm definitely gonna resolve this iteration because I can play through a Daze. So I just kind of want to find like more threats or a Wasteland or a Daze at this point. So that resolves. It dying gives me Delirium. So I just fire off an iteration, bin a land. Trying to look for some creatures. Yeah, we find a Delver. I mean, now this is going great. We hit the Daze, which is our plan when we bin the Brainstorm. Is it lagging? No, it should be good. Yeah, so the DRC Bobble, it's a 3/3, so it can block, but we do have a Bolt, which is good. So they draw off of this, and I Bolt now, so this surveils me a card for the Delver. Also, I can fetch it away after, if it's like a bad instant. And then also before he draws, so he can't like rip a Pyroblast or something, or a Hydroblast. So I bin the Delver, and then let's see if it works out. It doesn't. I hit a Steam Vents, but that's fine. I can fetch it away. So now I draw Ponder, which is pretty good. Again, I just want to find Wasteland here, and then like the game kind of ends. If I find a Wasteland off the Ponder, I think I just win. Along with maybe flipping my guy next turn. And I do. I surveil that to the top. I find 2 Wastelands actually. And it was interesting. I had double Wasteland, and then I think like an instant or sorcery. So either I could draw the Wasteland next turn, or I could flip my guy. But I think I topped both Wastelands because just going for the waste amount angle was gonna be good enough. And I got rewarded because he ended up blasting. And then since I didn't have a card on top, I didn't want to daze it because it's just a 1/1 next turn. Yeah, and now this is like a perfect card to daze. I get back my Sanctuary. I keep the waste on top, and he just passes. That's how I win the PTQ. So that was a pretty sick match. That game two was definitely too close. Yeah, yeah, that was good. All right, and then we got like the actual final round, which was like no prizes were on the line, but the guy wanted to play it out, and he was like 11-0, so I wanted to beat him. So he's on mono red prison, and I actually didn't know that, but like I didn't really care. I thought he was gonna be on like some weird like pile. Like he played lands in the past, but I just like kept his hand. It's probably a mole versus that deck, honestly. But this is the best he can do on turn one, which is great because I have a bolt. I flip. I shuffled that, so I just have random draws here. But I was just trying to find a daze or a force. Those were just like iterations. He pitched Fable to that. So yeah, he did this to play around days because I pondered, so I probably have looks at days. Um, but I have three more bolts in my deck, which I can try to find. Right now I am losing the race though. So I ponder. I hit waste steam vents. Like these wastes are interesting because I can kill this, but like at the same time I think he might have a land and is just not playing it because he doesn't want to like spew this. So I think I just shuffled because I just need to find a bolt at this point. Oh, I kept it. Wow. So my reasoning is I guess I'm winning the race now because I have. It's not even winning the race. This will just like block this, and then I'll be winning the race from there. So I hit him off his land, play a Delver, and attack. I don't want to like block a Goblin token. I think I have to get a little bit more aggressive. And it looks like he has missing lands, maybe. I just take it all. Maybe I should have blocked a Goblin with this and traded, but like I don't know. Like if I can find a Bolt or something, he's left with three Goblin tokens. I can easily win that race. So he gets a hearse, but and he exiles two things. But I think I can I still Murktide here? Hmm. Yeah, now I can because I hit a fetch land. So it will be a 5/5. And then this is nice because I can trade off the 3/2 Delver for his Rabble Master while still keeping my big guy. Oh, Cherish. Any high Julians? Yeah, I end up trading off this Delver too. I just don't want to die. Oh, this was actually a sick like combat damage game because he has this hearse as well, and he plays a moon, but I have my island, and he uses no cards now. So I attack for 5 because I need to actually win this game. I play a Delver. He draws a Simian Spirit Guide, so he's able to oh, what's up, Don? So he's able to crew his hearse now, which is a 4/4. So I have to block the hearse or else I die. I have to chump. And then it's a little too free for the bean because I top deck a DRC. I can attack here, play the DRC, and then no matter how he attacks, if he draws a land, I'm just winning because I can block, go to 1. And I played to that out, and he um, didn't draw anything. So I ended up chump blocking, going to 1 off the Simian, and then just killing him with the Murktide. So that was quite lucky. He got bailed out by the Dragon's Rage Chandler draw, but I think I played well to my outs there. What did I say? Alright. Wait, what did I mull? Clicking it too fast. On the draw here. Um, did they keep 7? They did. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this hand just sucks. I can beat Rebel Masters, but that's about it. um, yeah, this is good enough for me. Probably bottoming one of the dazes. It's always nice to keep Bolt just in case they have a Rebel Master. Yeah, so I have to force this. I pitched I pitched Murktide, which is interesting. I guess Daze can definitely be useful here, and then Brainstorm's just kind of better than Murktide in this situation. Murktide seems a bit far off. And he just passes, so that's like kind of insane. I just end step Brainstorm because I kind of want to just find like stuff. I hit a Wasteland, which is good. Okay, so I end up tucking the Wasteland. I think I think he's stuck on red mana, but he can easily have like another Ancient Tomb or City of Traders. So I don't think I want to spew on this City of Traders yet. I think I want to wait for him to play a red mana, play a Fable or Blood Moon. I'll force it. Then I will like hit the red land, and he'll have no lands left. I think that's a better plan than just going after this right now. Yeah, so he has Chrome Mox. He pitches Leyline of the Void, which I just realized is in his deck. So I need to win this game. I don't want to play game 3 against Leyline of the Void. He plays Hearse. Like, it's not really doing anything if I can counter, like, the rest of his threats, but I think having Murktide in my deck as an out is just enough for where I want to counter this. I pitch a Daze. I draw Meltdown, which is kind of good. It's not great, though, because this is on black, so, like, this is already, like, not doing much. But I think I should cast it. This was a really hard brainstorm for me. Maybe just pitching the Meltdown was good, like going Meltdown Bolt. If he doesn't play a Rebel Master, I'll just fetch it away. But I went for the Meltdown line just to deny him mana, I think. Yeah, I put Bolt Wasteland back because I want to probably fetch away the Bolt on my next turn. And I can just Meltdown for 0 here and hold the Ponder. Don't need to fetch. So then they Chrome Mox again. They're on 3 cards. Pitch a Simian. And they Rebel Master. So now I want the Bolt. But I know it's there. And this is like a decent situation for me. Yeah, keep Bolt and then Delver's the next card. I don't know what the third card was. Now I waste because, like, now he has the red, so I don't want to give him this. If he has another land, that's fine. And he has Shatter Skull, so it looked like I was just like I should have just wastelanded the whole time. But you never know. I mean, I don't like hate my play still. So I draw my Delver because he only has 2 cards in hand. I don't want to fetch it away. It's good enough, I think. I know the card under the next card on top of my deck. Let's see if I fetch. Okay, is it a flip? Forcible, yeah. So I knew I was gonna flip it, and then I can just fetch this away. Draw Wasteland, which is actually quite good. I wasteland, but he drew land, so he has 3 cards. I mean, it's still a very close game. Very close. Bubble him, hit a Simian. So yeah, like if he has a Rabble Master here, you can jam it. I can die. Oh wait, I drew a Bolt. It's 2 free. What does he do? Chalice? Fable. Yeah. Okay. So I just take draw step and then get rewarded because I drew a Channeler. Rewards me for holding my Bolt. I bolt the Fable. I graveyarded a Delver. I think it's just like too slow at this point. I already have 2 3/2s. I just want to find like interaction or like a Murktide to actually end it. I'm really scared of Fiery Confluence here though. That would like just kill me. Then I'm having Dead Gone into Fury Pitch Shatter Skull. So they have no cards in hand, but they have 2 creatures and I have nothing. But of course, we draw the Murktide. I think he like salts off a little bit in the chat. And we were in turn 2 turns later. So yeah, that's the tournament. I mean, this match didn't really matter, but I'd say we got pretty lucky here. Yeah, that game 2 versus May in the semis was probably where I messed up the most. I mean, that was just like a complete toss. Yeah, too talented. You love to see it. Alright, that's probably it for me. I'm glad you guys stuck around. That was fun to do. It did crash a bit of times, but it's fine.